Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com, and today I'm on blind tasting and I've got 4 white wines from 2 different companies, and the idea is that they, which is the better company. So I'll tell you what the companies are. First one, Morrisons, major supermarket in the UK if you don't know it, and this set of, I think I got 8 wines delivered, so I'm doing them, some in this video, some in another one, and then maybe another couple sometime in the very near future. But yeah, this set of 8 wines reduced to £6 a bottle. Now some of them, they started off about eight and a half quid. Some of them were £12.99. Now what do I think of a £12.99 wine reduced to £6? That's more than a 50% cut. At that level of cut, who's making money on such a deal? And wine people get a bit sniffy about these cut price deals and think, oh dear, but we are a bit two-faced. I know personally when I go down the aisle and I think, oh, cornflakes, 50% off. I don't sort of think, oh, those poor corn farmers being put out of their poor livelihood. Yes, I think it's wrong when some wines are on sale at half price virtually all the time. You can go from supermarket to supermarket and follow them. But let's not have too many double standards. The other company is, something called the Wine Society. Now, the Wine Society is a cooperative. And so you buy a share, I think it's £40 for a lifetime share, and with that share, plus with the proceeds from the sale of wines, they employ a team of buyers, administrators, but any profit is ploughed back into the company. So I've got their own label range, the Society's this, the Society's that. So the idea is I've got something from Morrisons, something from Wine Society. All I know, I can't see them, I've stuck some labels on the bottom of these. One of them says M, one of them, I was going to put one of them says M and one of them says W, but then I worked out that if I got one upside down, you know what I mean. Anyway, one of them says M, one of them says WSO. All I know is I've got one glass here and one glass there. So, first couple I've got, Sauvignon Blanc. One is a Sancerre, from made by Calvé, a Bordeaux negociant who has, in the last few years, branched out into other areas of France. So that's the Morrisons one. And the other one is the Society's Touraine Sauvignon. And I think that, yes, obviously the Morrisons one's £6, but I've got a price list here. Let's have a see how much it started off at. Yeah, the Sancerre is one of those ones that started off at £12.99, whereas the Society's Touraine Sauvignon, £7.50. Well, let's have a look at them. I'll just stick my nose in because they're very, very similar in colour. Sometimes you can tell a little bit by the colour of wines. And the good thing is, if I've got white wines, I can spill them freely over the white settee and the white trousers. Okay. I suppose I'm expecting a little bit more concentration, a little bit more sappiness, and maybe what I call life beyond fruit in the Sancerre, because it's more elevated appellation in the pecking order than Touraine. Touraine usually simple, fresh, juicy, pungent. Sancerre an extra mile. Hopefully. Let's give this first one a sniff. Well, I get that slightly grassy, slightly catty mixture of citrus and green gauge. It smells like it's going to be quite nice and fresh and zippy. Let's try to sniff the other one. That's got a bit more, it's like what I call slightly nutty, maybe a sulphury edge going on there. It doesn't feel quite as pristine and sharp. Let's give them a taste and see which way around. Actually, I'll taste that one first, the slightly nutty one. It's got, yeah, slight pungency, again that nettle green gauge edge, but it has got this slightly sulphury edge as well. Well, you get beyond that sulphur, and you've got really quite a nice, grippy, grassy drink there. Yeah, lemons, green gauges, some of that grassy edge. Yeah, nice, sappy, fresh drink. And the funny thing is, whereas I could smell that nutty, sulphury edge, I don't get much of that when I taste it. Nice wine. Well, that's nice too, but maybe it lacks a little bit of concentration. It feels almost just a little bit too rounded, slightly too soft, as if somebody has not cut corners, but it just feels like the edges have been taken off. I like the more edgy, well, this one here, I don't know whether I'll call it A or B, but Let's have a see what they are. Okay, so the first one, the one that smelt good but then felt a bit slightly flabby, that's the Wine Society one. Okay. Whereas the one that had that slightly nutty sulphury edge, but which came out of its shell, that's the Sancerre. So 1-0 to Morrisons. Next two I've got Burgundy, white Burgundy, opposite ends of Burgundy. I've got a Chablis and I've got a Mâconnais white. So the Society's white Burgundy is from the Mâconnais, bottom end of the Burgundy white wine region. Chablis top end, so it should be cooler. Sometimes you can tell a little bit about the colour from these wines. Like the paler one should be, yeah, it's probably going to be the Chablis. And just from the look at this, if I were to say one were paler than the other, I would say this one. So let's give it a sniff and see what we think. Well, there's a creamy, yeah, a slightly weighty cream, bit of peach there. It doesn't smell all that clean and fresh, actually. It's doesn't smell like there's anything rotten, but I don't get too much fruit character coming through there. It feels very dumb, very closed. Not so great nose there. This one smells a little bit more richer, fuller, and if it is true that the paler one was the Chablis, well, this makes sense. The one from the Mâconnais, much further south, being that little bit fuller, richer in fruit. Not amazingly fruity, but it's got more of an edge of pears, peaches, a bit of pineapple there. I think both of them unoaked. I don't get any real oak influence on either of them. Yeah, so yeah, that one looks good. Let's taste this one. Yeah, I come back to this the one I smelt first, and I still get that nutty, that slightly grubby edge. It's a bit sharp. It's a bit tart. And again, that would make sense if it were the Chablis. It's got more acidity than the other one. But besides that acidity, I don't feel there's quite enough fruit to get past that. So I'm hazarding a guess that one I've just tried is the Morrisons Chablis, and yes, I'm right. Phew. Okay, well, that's the end of the white blind tasting. I'm going to do another video right after this, but I won't post it straight away. You have to wait a couple of days for that one. And I'm doing 3 sets of reds then, so see you soon.